Hey, Master Coach G here with Thriving After 50 Mind, Body, Soul. And in today's episode, I am going to be talking about 6 simple principles that I use to improve my health and my quality of life. How I was able to eliminate high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high A1C, obesity, and acid reflux, all without medication. Yes, that's right, all without medication. I'm going to share the 6 principles that you will be able to apply to possibly eliminate or either better manage any of those chronic conditions that you may have as well. So join me here on Thriving After 50 for 6 principles to better health and wellness. This is Master Coach G, and I will see you on the next level. Good day and welcome to the podcast, Thriving After 50, Mind, Body, Soul. This is Master Coach G, and today I'm going to be talking about the 6 principles to better health and wellness. So welcome. I appreciate you all joining me today. I wanted to share 6 principles that I use to improve my health and my quality of life. I was able to eliminate diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high A1C, obesity, and acid reflux, all with no medication. So I know you're wondering, how was I able to do that? Well, there were 6 things that I had to apply to my life. And going back to the first episode of the awareness, accountability, and adjustments, this is where this all played a part. It all played together. So the first thing I had to do was I had to change my mind about my health, which meant I had to get serious about it because I was at risk to have a major heart attack or stroke at any time. So I really had to change my mind about my health, which meant that I had to become aware of my habits because of the habits that I had, which was causing me to have bad health. So I had to become aware of the habits of things that I needed to do that I wasn't doing to improve the quality of my health. So I had to add some type of physical activity. So the first thing I did was I started walking. That was the activity that I had to incorporate in my day in order to start to see some type of results. So physical activity played a big part in that. Then I had to change the way I was eating. It wasn't that I was eating a lot or junk food. I just wasn't eating at all. That was pretty much what my problem was, which is just as bad as overeating, which we'll talk about that when we get to that episode. That is a whole episode all in itself. And then drinking water. That was the other thing that I did not do. I did not drink water. So I had to be aware of my water intake. Then the next thing was sleep. I definitely wasn't getting any sleep at all. One, because of the acid reflux. I couldn't even lay down and sleep. So therefore, that left me with sitting up to sleep. You don't get much sleep sitting up. Not good quality sleep. I'll put it like that. So what I want to do is I want to touch on all these things briefly, and then I'm going to do an individual episode on each one of them. And the first thing that I want to start off with is mindset, because that was the first shift that I had to make, which was my mindset. And I want to share with you why it matters. Because our mindset is a set of beliefs that shapes how we make sense of things. So that's why mindset is so important, because it influences what we think and how we feel in any given situation. It doesn't matter what it is. Mindset plays a part in that. Your mindset determines what you do or what you don't do. Your mindset requires intentional effort if, in fact, you want to change your mindset. So in order to change your mindset, it's going to take intentional effort, which means you have to be aware of the mindset that you have now. And then you have to do the thinking process that we talked about in the first episode. Just kind of sit down and review what it is that you already believe, and you go over that. And then if there's something that you want to change in that, then it has to take an intentional effort in order for that to happen. So there's ways for that to happen, but you do have to do it intentional. So the first step is acknowledging, which is taking accountability of the mindset that you currently have and the changes that you want to make when it comes to your mindset. Because you do have to own it, and you do have to be intentional to make it happen. It's just not going to happen on its own. The next thing is you have to look at your habits. You have to look for patterns in your behavior and what triggers the unwanted behavior that you want to change. You have to identify the negative thoughts and turn them into realistic and productive ones. The next thing you have to do is you do have to add some type of physical activity. I can't stress that enough, because not doing anything doesn't make it better. So some type of physical activity is definitely an improvement to your health. Now, some of the benefits of regular activity is that you just improve your health overall, period. You are able to maintain a healthy weight, which, causes other conditions such as the high blood pressure, the high cholesterol, things of that nature. What you should set a goal for is to work out at least up to 150 minutes a week. Moderate physical activity. So that could include, like, if you like Zumba, I like Zumba. You can do Zumba, or you can do like a movement therapy, which I'm getting ready to explore that. You can do a movement therapy class, or you can do a dance class, or you can do something at home. They have plenty of videos on YouTube. You can do that, something moderate. Don't go out here trying to break any records, but whatever your limit is, excuse me, don't go over that. So definitely have the physical activity, but in moderation. If you like dance, that's a great thing. Yard work, you can also consider that as a form of physical activity as well. But the goal is to achieve at least 150 minutes a week. I would say if you're going to start off walking, and I know that I usually recommend people walk at least 30 minutes, 5 days a week. But if you want to start off walking and you want to start off really simple, walk outside your door, walk in any direction, walk for 15 minutes, and then walk back, and you've just walked 30 minutes. So if you can do that at least 5 days a week, that would be awesome, because you would definitely feel better. Your appetite would definitely improve, along with your sleep pattern, which we'll talk about that as well. The next thing that's really important too is water. I know most people only drink water when they're thirsty, but if you're drinking water when you're thirsty, then you're already dehydrated. Which starts to has a trickle effect. It's just one side effect from that after another. So the one thing that it does, it definitely keeps your body temperature at a normal rate. That's the one good thing about water. It just regulates our body temperature. The other thing that it does is it lubricates our joints and our spine and our tissue. So we need water. We need water so that all those other things in our body, the organs that we don't see, can function. We have stiffness sometimes in our joints. That can be caused from not enough hydration. So water is really important in protecting our joints and things of that nature. And we'll talk about all that when we get to that episode. Water also helps you to get rid of waste through urine preparation and bowel movement. So it's important that we consume enough water, and we will talk about how much water we should consume according to our body weight as well. Now, I know that everyone has heard the term, you are what you eat, and that is very true. because it shows up. If you eat a lot of processed food, a lot of junk food, then it's going to show up. And it's going to definitely show up in your numbers. It's going to show up in your cholesterol. It's going to show up in your blood pressure. It's going to show up in your A1C. It's going to show up. However, with a combined physical activity along with a healthy diet, not dieting, but a healthy diet, you can definitely keep control of a healthy weight while you are also promoting just overall health. Period. But here's the good thing, is that you are reducing the risk of those chronic conditions like the high blood pressure, the high cholesterol, the diabetes, the high A1C. That is why you need to make sure that what you eat is helping you to reduce the risk of those chronic conditions. The next thing I want to talk about is sleep and why it's important. And I know for most people think that, getting a good night's sleep is easy. That's not necessarily true. A lot of people get in bed and they close their eyes and it could be like an hour later, they're still looking at the clock and they haven't fallen asleep yet. But the fact is that only 1 in 3 Americans get enough sleep on a regular basis. And sleep is good, but it's about the quality of sleep that you get. That is really what matters. We should get a minimum of 7.5 hours, a bare minimum of 7. 7.5 hours is good, but 7 to 9 hours is really what will do our bodies most good. Our body goes through a repair cycle during the time that we're asleep. A lot of things are happening while we're sleeping. So that's why sleep is so important, especially for our mind, our physical well-being, as well as our mental well-being. So that is what I have for you today, and I hope that this adds some value. I am going to continue with the series with all of these points that I spoke about with the mindset, the habits, our eating habits, physical activity, and sleep and water. I am going to speak on those individually starting next week. So make sure that you stay tuned and remember that knowledge applied is power. This is Master Coach G, and I'll see you on the next level. Hey, I just want to thank you for joining me here on Thriving After 50, Mind, Body, Soul. If you were able to glean some nuggets from this episode, become a subscriber, and every time that I drop something, you will receive a notification. Oh, please like it, please share it, so that someone else will be able to glean and receive some information that will also help them to improve their health and their quality of life. I appreciate you. Thank you. Coach G here, and I'll see you on the next level.